Hi everyone, welcome to Java Selenium Cucumber. So today's class will be learning more on Python. So it will be Python session part 2. In the last class, what we saw is how to install Python, how to install PyCharm, and we wrote our first Hello World program. Then we saw how to create variables and how to print them. Right. So today, let's see more on Python. We will see Python data type. We'll see Python numbers, how to do casting in Python. We'll also see on Python string. So let's get started. First, create a Python file, new file, skip Python file also, and give it a name as Python data type. Hit enter. You see it got created, the file got created with .py extension, so you do not need to write .py again. Okay, so in Python, as we already saw, you do not need to write the data type. Instead, it will automatically take care of it. So if you just assign a value to a variable, it automatically, when you print it, you can see the data type for it. So let's check how you can verify it. Suppose x equal to 5. Okay, this is an integer. In order to know what type it is, you just have to type it here as print type within bracket, give x, and run this. So you have to change it here as well instead of hello.py, or you just right click on this and run Python data types. You see the class is coming as int, right? Because it's a number. Now suppose I give y is equal to hello. Okay, and now if we just print the type, give y, it will give me, for the first one it is int, and for the second one it is string. Okay. Similarly, if it is a floating point number, you can also check that. Okay, see, float is also coming. Now let's see how you can cast in Python. Okay, suppose if you want to cast a number to a floating point number, how do you do that? So just simply type something called I equal to int of 4. Sorry, if you want to make it as float, then you have to write float like this. And now if you print it, I, and run this, you see 4.0 is coming. Even though we give the integer number here, because we are writing inside the float, that's when it is converting it to a floating point number. And if you try to get the type of I, it will be float, it will not be int, right? It is coming as float. Similarly, we can also do it for string, and we can also do it, we can cast from any data type to any other data type. Okay, so let's do it for a string. Suppose you have a string, suppose you have 5, which is a string, because we are giving it in double quotes, so it will be a string, right? And now we will be converting it into int. So you'll be just giving that j inside this like this. Okay? And you will see it will be coming as number 5. It will not be coming within single quote. Okay? So this is how you can cast a string to a number. But if you have a text, alphanumeric text as a string, and that you are trying to convert in, that is not possible. But in case if you have a number which is a string and you are converting it to an integer, that can be done. Okay. For example, you are retrieving some data from your text box, and whenever you retrieve from a text box using Selenium code, it will be coming as string to you, right? In those cases, you need to cast it to an integer in order to do some manipulation on that. Right? So that is how you can do casting in Python. Okay, now let's see what are the number data type which are present in Python. So there are three kinds of number data type which are present in Python. One is int, the other one is float, and the third one is complex. Okay, so let's create another file for to learn about Python numbers. Okay. Suppose you have x is equal to 2, okay, y equal to 2.3, and if it is a complex number, it will be that scientific number. If you remember in the calculator, scientific calculator, we have some scientific numbers. So that is nothing but a complex number or a complex data type which is available only in Python. Okay, now if you just try to print the type of, so we already know if you get the type of x, it will come as int. Now let's just check the type of z, and we are expecting it to be complex. Just like right click and run this. You see complex is coming over here, right? And if you get the type of y, it will be float, it will be for x, it will be int. Okay, now let's see how to work with Python string. Okay, let me create a new file called Python string. Okay, so we can do all the same operations when we do it in Java. All the same methods we can use in Python also. Okay, so let's first assign it to a variable called a, and if you want to print it, simply you can just print it like this, right? Then Python string, it will print it. Now if you want to have multiple lines of string, you can have it like this, b this. So you have to put everything in triple double quote or triple single quote. This is Python. You can have it anywhere, it doesn't matter. We are learning Python. So this is multi-line string, right? And you can put them in triple double quote or triple single quote, and then it will be, then the entire text will be converted into string. Print b. Now run this. See, it's Python. We are learning Python. Okay. And string is also a sequence of character over here. Suppose here, if you see, we have hello, print a. If you want to print a single character from this, you can simply do print of a 0. It will give you the first character. Print of a 3. It will give you 0, 1, 2, 3. Fourth character L. Okay. You can also use for loop if you want to read the entire text as characters. You can do it like this: for x in a colon print x. See, hello, everything is getting printed in order like this. We'll be talking about loops in coming session, so do not worry how the syntax has been written. But you can also do it for string like this. So string is nothing but a character of array of characters. Okay, there is something called check in string. Okay, suppose you have some text called this is Python, and if you want to do a check whether Python is present in the text or not, you can just simply do print Python in text. So this in will return you true or false. Let's run this. You see, it is returning as true because Python is present in the text. And if you just type not in text, it will return you false. This is something called check in string false. Okay. Okay, so now to check the length of the text, you can simply do print len. There is a function called len. You can use it. And now let's run this. The length is 14 in this text. So space is also considered as a character, single character over here. Okay. And now if you want to convert everything to a lowercase, so you can simply do print text dot lower. Okay. It will convert everything to the lowercase. This is Python. So T is small here now. Right. Similarly, to make it to uppercase, it's upper text dot upper. This is Python. Okay. In Python, Python string, there is something called slice operator. So here, if you see, if I want to just take first three character, I can give 0:3. So it will print the index position from text from position 0 till 2. So it will not include 3. It will have 0, 1 and 2. So let's run this HAL. Okay. So because it takes from 0 till 2, it will not include the last index. And you can skip the first index also. Only the last index you can provide like this. Like just give colon, and if you give 3, this will also print HAL. Okay? So it thinks that it starts from 0. Similarly, you can skip the end also. Like suppose if you want A, then 2 comma, so 2 till the end it will print LLO. So 2 0 1 2, then till the end it will print. Okay. Okay, if you want to, okay, suppose you have a text which is having some space in the beginning and the end. In Java, we were using trim, right? But in case of Python, you use something called strip. Print a dot strip. Okay? It will remove the space. If you want to replace a string, so just use the method called a dot replace and provide your character what you want to replace. Suppose H with J. Jello. Okay. Now we can also use something called split function. So if you have hello world and you want to split it based on space, you can simply say a dot split within double quotes, give the space. It will give you a, yeah, because the first space is also there, so you have to just remove that and do it. So it will give you hello and world in an array, right? And now if you suppose you have two strings and you want to concatenate them, suppose you have hello world and suppose you have another one which is Python, and simply say print a plus b. It'll give you hello world Python. You can give a space here so that it will concatenate everything with the space. Okay. So there'll be a lot of other methods as well in string. So you can just go through them, just Google them. You'll be finding a lot of other methods. Okay, and one more important thing is there is something called string format in Python, because you cannot just concatenate a string to an integer. How you used to do it in Java, you cannot do it over here. You have to use something called format function. So let's see how to use that. Suppose you have age equal to some number 8, and you have some text, John's age is, and you want to concatenate the age and the txt over here. How do you do that? You cannot simply do txt plus age. If you do this, it will give you some error. See, type error, cannot concatenate string to integer. Okay, can only concatenate string to string. So what you have to do here is you have to do something like this: print text dot format, and within that you have to provide your age. Okay, so this anyways is giving error, so let's remove that. And now see, John's age is okay. I have missed something over here. There is something called curly braces you have to give, which means it is expecting the number to be over here. So wherever you give the curly braces, that will add the age over there. Okay, John's age is 8. Suppose you have the curly braces over here, then it will add the number to this position. John's age is age. Okay. Okay, so there is something else, like you can have multiple, you can pass concatenate multiple elements also, and you can just say salary equal to 2000, suppose. John's, I'll say John's age is, I'm expecting age here, and salary is this one. Okay, what I will do, I'll pass here as salary. You see, John's age is 8 and salary is 2000. So it replaces the curly braces. Like this one will go to the 0th index and this one will go to the first index over here. Okay. Suppose you want to pass age in this one. How do you do that? You have to change the index number over here. So you can give this as 1 and this as 0. Then it will just change it. John's age is 2000 and salary is 8. Okay. Like this, you can concatenate a integer to a string in Python. Okay, so let's stop this session here, part 2, and I'll be coming with the another part for Python in next session. Okay? So thank you everyone for watching, and do practice these things, practice all these programs. These are very easy programs. If you practice, then it'll be easy for you to understand it. Okay, so thank you. Have a very nice day.